What's going on? What's going on? Listen, this is No Love Loft podcast. We got myself, Justin Ramon. We have our co-host Leslie, Truly, D-Lo, and we have a very, 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 very special guest near and dear to my heart.
Well, amen.
Okay. Amen. No, the laugh though. She was like,
so much pressure.
She is the CEO of Watch Me Soar Inc. She's a mentor, fashionista, mother, singer. No, songwriter.
Jill of all trades.
Jill of all trades. Miss Shantae Nicole, everybody. Miss Shantae Nicole.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on?
What's happening? Y'all a lot of fun.
Already.
I just want to come in and sit. I don't even have to say nothing. I just want to listen to the commentary.
No. We want to listen to what you got going on.
We definitely going to have some topics.
So tell us what you got going on, and you got a lot going on in the next couple of weeks to the next month. You're doing a lot of promo. We see you on Instagram, real heavy right now.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff going on. Well, I do a show every year called Soar the Runway. This is our second year promoting the show. It was very successful in last year. We're a little different than other fashion shows, I believe. The vibe is a little different. So I require that you kind of dress up and bring your best A game when you walk into the show.
I love fashion shows. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, I love it. It's actually a pretty dope little thing that we got going on. It was very successful last year. It sold out last year. I invited Justin as a model last year. He couldn't do it, but I mean, we're not going to talk about the past. We're not going to talk about the past. The past. He was booked.
Okay.
He was booked.
He shall be forgiven.
But I'm his favorite.
I know, right?
But hey,
He brought you on the show.
No.
See how you keep see how to keep
But this year, I am
you
a
are
part of the show.
You
And
are.
although she asked me personally, I still went to the casting call.
You had to. You kind of had to, but I mean, you still would have got through anyway. But
You know what I'm saying? She was like, "No, you got it."
Because I had to.
I love it though. I love it.
So Soar the Runway again has been going on for 2 years. We donate to a different proceed or charity each year. Last year was diabetes. This year it is multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
Last year we gave them $500. Our goal this year is about $1,000 to $1,500.
Wow. Okay. That's nice.
Prayerfully, we'll meet that goal. We've added a couple of different little events and things to it. Last year we didn't have a children's show. This year we did.
Mm-hmm.
We are partnering with a nonprofit organization called Collection of Hearts. So a lot of their children that are in their mentoring program will be a part of the show as well. We also have, of course, the adult show, which is the VIP, if you pay for your VIP ticket. And it's the whole feel of the VIP with the live band and the hors d'oeuvres.
I wish I would have
mix
knew
and the
early.
mingle. Don't worry, we still got tickets on sale. So
you
for it,
still
I got
buy
you covered.
tickets.
So you good.
Okay.
So tell us when it is.
The show.
Since he's talking about early.
I mean, we like this stuff.
Well, the show is May 5th.
Okay.
It's on Cinco de Mayo, and I always do it the weekend.
Tequila?
Hello.
Amen.
So we always do. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say on air.
all
But
that's
once we get off air, if there's a break in between, I'll let you know everything goes. Okay. But each year I do it on the weekend of my grandmother's birthday in honor of her. My grandmother she's still alive, but she has Alzheimer's. But she was probably one of the larger influences in my life and why I even started to love on people and mentor and mom people the way that I do is because of her. She had a heart for people. And ever since I was a little girl, I always loved people. I just don't know why. I would go up to a stranger and just say hi. I never meet a stranger.
Oh, God bless
It's
you.
no in between for me. You either like me or you don't, and I'm okay either way. Because I'm either too much for you, or I'm not enough for you, or you think of me that way, and you just don't never really want to get a
love
chance
the
to know
honesty
me.
that
So
you bring.
I'm very honest. Sometimes it works in my favor, other times it don't, but it's okay either way.
That's okay.
I'm okay with that
Honesty
either
like
way.
is
you
a
know what I
dying
mean?
quality.
Yeah, I don't have a reason to lie to you, and I hate when you lie to me. So there's
We're too grown to lie.
we're way too grown to
I feel
lie.
that way.
I don't have anything to prove to anybody. This is who I am. I have been through too much not to be comfortable in my own skin. And the hips and the shape that I am and the smile on my face and the big forehead is who I am.
Right.
And
All right.
nothing you can say or do will change
not
me
nothing to
or
be ashamed
move.
of.
I'm not ashamed
Not
of
at
the
all. You
gospel,
should not even
nor am I
You
ashamed
shouldn't
of
be
myself.
ashamed of yourself at all.
That's what I'm
Like the shame shouldn't even be in your vocabulary when it
But
comes
I
to how
mean,
you look.
there were struggles, growing up that I had to deal with and I had to overcome. But with those struggles, you have to be able to overcome those and accept those things for yourself. And you change what you want for the bettering of yourself, not for the sake of anybody else. Because if you continue to try to change yourself for people, you'll be lost. And I refuse to be lost in the thought process of what other people think about me. I just don't. I don't like that. I just refuse to be lost, whether in spirit or in the physical. In the natural, I won't be lost.
That's
okay?
right.
But so again, back to Soar the Runway. Again, it's on May the 5th. The children's show is from 1 to 4. The tickets are $20. The VIP for the main event, it starts at $40, but the cocktail hour starts at 5:30. It's free hors d'oeuvres with that $40. Like I said, live instrumental band with that $40. A full gifting
Who you got
receipt
coming?
with that $40.
What band you
Just
got
some friends of mine collectively that decided we believe in what you're doing. So and I mean it's no little punk wigs either. These are people that really
we got a lot of musician friends in common. So
Davis, Tamon Davis, and then I think he got a drummer and somebody else. But I just wanted a collective band of some people, like some nice old school fun jazz, something to kind of set the mood. And then promptly at 7:00, the actual show starts. There's over 100+ models, including children and adults. Tickets will be sold at the door as long as they don't sell out beforehand. Ticket sales are going very fast. And then to kind of jumpstart it off, this Saturday, April the 14th, we're doing our Soar, the Fashion Mixer. It'll be at the Broderick Grill, which is downtown off of Woodward Avenue. Yeah, you're going to miss us. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Next year.
But, I mean, you all can come.
Okay, cool.
He's booked.
I wish.
He's booked, as he always says.
DeLorean.
I've already bought my tickets.
Bought your tickets to what?
To your play.
Oh, okay. God bless.
I didn't even know.
The rest of y'all, I ain't tripping because
I mean, if someone would like to come, I'll be happy to put you on the RSVP list. I mean, you don't have to feel, any kind of way. But I mean, it's a great time for you to meet and greet with myself, with some of the models. With some of the models, it's chic fashion, and then we have a few vendors selling some things. I also will be having a couple of things on sale, including tickets as well. So that's what I got going on. It's soaring season, so I'm always busy.
Speaking about these models, I was on your Instagram page. And,
Oh, you.
Now, one of them is
some
my
of
little
those
sister,
ladies,
so
and
chill out.
I don't know. This one was like milk
That ain't
chocolate, and it looked like it was just like dripping off of her. It was like I don't know which video it was. I don't know.
Tia.
Shatia.
Was that who it was?
The ambassador
Yes,
model.
the ambassador
Watch me
was.
soar.
I don't know. I
Listen,
just know
that
I was like,
video was dope.
It is.
I was laying in bed at 1:00 in the morning, and I was like,
Woody.
"This is dope." No, I don't think I had. Well, no, anyway. Not at that point.
Really? That's where we going?
Listen, I've been around dudes all my life. You just gotta kind of flow with it. Don't even interrupt it.
Listen.
Just let it
No,
flow.
but I'm
Listen.
checking this.
Oh, with
Listen.
family, it's just a different kind of way.
Yeah,
See, for me, I'm used to it. Like they
Listen.
don't care where they say
Listen,
what they say. It just flows.
I'm
But-
open about mine.
flow.
No, I
know.
said Shantae.
Way too open.
Yo, I think I text you like this is dope.
Thank you.
Like I love the quality. One thing I'll compliment you on is that your staff, your team, they're so professional.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
the casting call that you made me go to.
Go ahead and keep telling everybody I made him
That
come.
you made me
I
go
asked
to.
him to be a model.
You asked
and
me
he
to
still had
model.
absolutely.
No,
It only seems
I
right.
loved it.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it.
He
I
was gonna
enjoyed
model
it.
for everybody, but he still had to come.
Right, right.
Listen, I enjoyed it simply. Number one, the people that you had, it was professional from when I walked in the door.
Thank you.
To the headshot guy who was doing the headshots,
Yeah.
to your whole panel, and I knew quite a few of them or whatever. And what I really appreciated is that, it was a couple of young ladies who weren't as seasoned as the others, or a couple of young guys who were as seasoned as the others. And you was like, no. And you pointed out values in each person. And you was like, no, you got beautiful eyes. You got beautiful. Accentuate that. Walk down the aisle like this. And you really, when you say you're a mentor, you really do take your time out to mentor these people. And it's not just young girls, because sometimes girls mentor other girls, guys mentor other guys. No, it was like dudes you had there like, hey, yo, listen.
That's
dope.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we need more of that. We need more
Man,
of that.
what?
Yeah,
we need a woman's perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah, so I mean, like this whole mentoring thing is what Watch Me Soar Inc. is all about. It's not necessarily about the modeling side. The modeling side is just the fun side and fashion for me, which is the baby of the group, which is Soar the Runway. Watch Me Soar Inc. has been established for about 3 years now, and it was birthed out of a painful, relationship and situation that I had to like come to grips with myself and know that I was loved and that I was important and that I actually had value within myself. It was talks that I had to give myself. And I knew that I had, if I can say, a ministry for other people. It's a sincere ministry for other people. But like I say, everybody is not accepting to you. You know what I mean? I know I can reach kids that from 5 to 15, but I have a heart for people that are older, 16, 17, and above. I have a heart for those people because nobody really wants to talk to them. They just already
Lost
believe.
generation.
Yeah,
No, it takes
they
a special
already,
person to do
yeah,
that.
and they already believe that they know it all, and it takes a certain kind of
Yeah.
person to be able to put self on the side and mother them and mentor them and love them where they are. I love everybody, and that goes without saying. That's an unconditional love. It doesn't take much for me to love you. It takes a lot for me not to like you or not to or to hate you. It's just I start off loving you.
Right.
And, when people go to these casting calls or when they go to these auditions, they're so ready for the no that they're not prepared for a yes. So a lot of people I did not cut. Some people I did, and I just looked into themselves and said, you're too arrogant, you can't. You know what I mean? And I didn't say those things to them. I just basically was like, okay, thank you, and moved it to the side or, whatever. You can't give everybody a yes because they don't accept it because they believe they deserve a yes. There's one thing to walk in with confidence. There's another thing to walk in conceited.
Right.
If I see conceit when you walk in, then we can't talk. But if I see confidence when you walk in, I can work with that. I can work with that a little bit. There is a difference. And I just believe in speaking life into people. It's so much negativity. Anybody can say anything, and they'll take that, they'll harbor that. But how much easier is it, or how long does it take for you just to say something nice to someone, and that one nice little word may push them to keep going throughout their day. So I'd rather give life than cause death. Just from saying those things. So I'll find something nice to say before I can find anything terrible to say. I'll work with anybody. My staff, shout out to my staff. I love my staff. If I could call them all, but
Just
I
a
will.
few, just a few.
All right,
just a
I'll
few.
go through my board. So it's Corlita, we call her Quarter. She's my accounts manager. We have Tasha, who is my head of administration. And then we have Tiara, who is my head of hostess. I have Bree, who is my charity liaison. She reaches out to all the charities and reaches out to them. And she does all my sponsorship packets. I have Jennifer Andrews, who is...
Jen?
Yeah, I got to love on my Jen. That's Auntie Mama is what I call her. She keeps me grounded, man. 'Cause sometimes I lose it. But she makes sure I stay intact.
And
for
that
sure,
was
for
her
sure.
daughter.
That was
in the
Shatia.
promo video.
Shatia,
If
yeah.
you guys go on Instagram.
Shatia is her daughter. And she's a great model, aspiring model, amazing. You want to give your own shout out to Shatia?
Look, Mama, I ain't mean no harm.
No. She probably
And
Shatia, he
Shatia,
kind of cute
what
though,
I'm
Mama.
saying?
I
Look,
might approve.
and look,
Auntie might
Shatia,
approve
look,
this
Shatia,
one.
I'm
Hey,
just
if
saying,
you come with me, like,
believe in yourself.
if you
girl.
come with me after
Look,
this, we're going to go see it.
I'm talking to Shatia right now. Look, girl, you can soar. Believe that. You can soar. Girl, I saw the video. I was hooked instantly, girl. Oh, my God. Yes, Lord. And like I said, Mama, I ain't mean no disrespect. Or nothing like that.
Jennifer Andrews is she's my head manager for backstage. So she's my backstage manager. She makes sure everything is straight. Shout out to James Broxson. He is also a head model coach for Soar the Runway. And Tam Malora Scott is we call her Tam. Tam does all my decor for the show. So if you go on YouTube or see any other pictures from Soar, all the decor and all of that other kind of stuff, everything is done in-house by people who I love and adore. And then a lot of my hostess, they didn't want to be models. They wanted to be hostess. They wanted to work in hospitality, or they wanted to work in detour. So then I had somebody, decor. And so I had somebody on staff to be able to mentor them in areas I knew nothing about. But my passion is to give you the core values, to enhance yourself. Self-enhancement, it's so important. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect other people to believe in you. And if you don't have some kind of confidence within yourself, you cannot expect people to take you seriously. And so, yeah, that's what I've been building the last 3.5 years, and God has been faithful. I owe God everything.
Yeah.
Because I went through a lot to get here.
Come on now.
And it's not in vain. Someone has been touched. We have built. Headquarters is almost closed, so that means that I'll have an office now, and we'll be filming out of a headquarters instead of my home. So, God is faithful to us. God is faithful
Where's
to
the
us.
headquarters going to be?
The headquarters is going to be downtown.
Amen.
Now you
gonna be
originated. This all
downtown.
originated from Detroit.
This all originated from Detroit. So this is something that I even if I move away, I'll come back to Detroit to make it happen again.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So
Can you tell us your social media handles where people can find you, all of that good stuff?
oh, definitely, for sure. So on IG, it's Shantae_Nicole, and Shantae is not spelled like your average Shantae. So
It's definitely not.
I saw that.
So it's CHONTE_Nicole. My middle name is not spelled like the normal Nicole either. It's NICHOL. And then also on IG is the official Soar the Runway page, and it's just Soar the Runway, SOARTHERUNWAY. And then on Facebook, it's the same. It's Shantae Nicole, just my first and my middle name. And then for Facebook, it's the same, Soar the Runway. So y'all can reach us anywhere. Oh, we have a website as well, and that's under the company name, which is Watch Me Soar. So it's www.watchmesoarinc.com, and that's WATCHMESOARINC.com. You can purchase your tickets online as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, Shantae's gonna kick it with us for a second.
Just a little bit.
We're gonna go into our hot topics area. So what do we have for today? Hot topics.
So, this was a big thing, and I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about it.
Nope.
So, Tristan Thompson from the Cavaliers, everybody's heard about it. It has been found out to be a cheater once again.
What's new?
Exactly.
That was him.
As you guys know,
Allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
Oh, the video.
No, the video. No, that
This was him going into the hotel with this chick.
That ain't alleged.
I need to see the video. Somebody pull up the video.
He's out here kissing chicks in hot tubs.
And everywhere else, apparently.
I heard he was from jumping states to do this. Different people.
Oh, hoes in
states.
different
Yeah.
area codes.
That's my joint.
We got
That's
some
what
of
it.
them.
Yeah.
And some kind.
Go ahead.
So the question is, because this was something else that came up, and a lot of people were divided.
Okay.
They are saying, some people are saying that they feel bad for Chloe. Some people aren't really feeling that bad for her. Some people are saying that she shouldn't allow him into the birthing room. How? What? No, I'm serious.
No, that's a big thing right now.
That is there are a lot of
That don't have nothing to do with
there
that.
are a lot of people who are saying this because he's been found to cheat, to be a cheater. Like I said again. So, what do you guys feel? I actually agree with that. It has nothing to do with the child. But I will say this: my perspective on it is: do I feel sorry for her? Absolutely not. Here's why. No, seriously. Here's why. Here's why. If y'all remember when she got with him, how the situation actually occurred was he was with his 5-month pregnant ex-girlfriend. He was with her when they met and when they got together. So the question is,
what you saw?
So how do you guys feel about this?
First of all, here's the thing about Tristan Trash, okay? Because he's been garbage since he got with the Kardashian.
Did y'all see what Michael Blackson said? He was last night. He made a video and he was talking about how he's like an average. He's the average player on the court. He like doing triple doubles in a nightclub with these women.
Yeah, like how do you go from it is bad when the NBA or the NFL says we don't want you dating a Kardashian publicly and make a public statement like that. Number one, you knew what you were getting yourself into. You're not taking a Kardashian serious. Let's be honest. You knocked her up. Oops.
Well, that was an extra payday for him.
And that was an extra payday for her as well. Let's not get it twisted. They are business people.
That is true.
So he's going to be
That is
shelling
true.
out cash. But my thing is this, down to the core of it. Sometimes I feel like they use the kids as a weapon. You're shooting and you're holding the kid up to catch the bullets.
Well, no,
Like how is it that I'm not welcome in the birth room of my child?
Well, first off,
That has nothing
she
to do with
specifically said that he is, and he, this is everybody
No,
else.
yeah, this is like
Everybody else said
yeah.
that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
There are people that were against him being in the birthing room. And this is really difficult sometimes for people to separate your issues with who you laid down with and had your child with.
You lay down with dogs, you wake
And
up with fleas.
the actual child. I remember watching someone I know
down
going
with a
through a
dog before, too.
divorce, and my mom said, "Whatever you do, don't talk about this person. Don't talk about your child's father, even if he's a deadbeat. Don't talk about him because your child will grow up and know."
Right.
And this is all being played out. So that's why I'm saying, really, how do you guys feel about this?
What do you feel?
Do you feel bad for her?
I know you
Here's
have.
my
No,
question.
I-
Do you feel bad for her knowing
I don't
what's
feel-
going on? And if you were in this situation, would you still allow him in the birth room?
Why would you do that to me, Justin?
Because I know. Listen, I told them in the beginning. I said she's gonna sit here and all cute and like, guys, I'm Sante Nicole.
I need another woman's opinion.
No,
here.
and she gonna sit here and then I promise you, she gonna go from the West Side Shantae. She be like, see, this is what y'all need to know about these niggas. So please go.
Why you breaking me in like that though?
No,
like, that's on my show.
I didn't want them,
like, when I'm on my show, that's a different
I didn't
kind of
want them to be
story.
alarmed. Some guys can't handle that.
Which one?
Oh, no. Well,
Well, I think True, you had something to say though. Like, weren't you getting in the middle of saying something? I don't want to respond until after.
Your shine.
No, I don't. Like, he kind of put the spotlight on me. I can wait because you were in the middle of saying something. So I would really like you to. Are you sure?
Well, let me give you a little pretense
Okay.
before you say your comment.
Okay.
It's two other things that took place.
Okay.
One other thing is she went to L.A. and got a medium to read. And this medium, his name is Tyler. And he told her that maybe she shouldn't mess around with him because if they spend too much time apart, that would happen. That was one thing that blew up social media as well. But also, one of the females that he kicked it with, whose name is Stephanie, she's claiming that, she put out a sex tape of them already on her Instagram story. And people and she claiming to be pregnant too. And she said, for everybody who criticizing us, let us be happy. Now go.
Yikes.
So Chloe was warned by the medium.
My thing is, I don't even feel sorry for no Kardashian, and I don't feel sorry for him because he knew what he was messing with. Like, anybody that mess with somebody with the last name Kardashian should know what they're getting into.
They turned into
They ruin more black lives than the police.
That's right.
Yikes. Oh.
Yeah, where the bell at?
I'm gonna clean my watch.
Clean your watch. So can we get your
So I can see
perspective?
clearly what time it is, and how much time I have.
Oh, we
to say.
got some time.
All right, so here's my perspective, and again, this is just my opinion. Most of the time, women know what they're getting into. Most of the time. In this case, I believe that she knew what she was getting into. Why? Because when she got with him, he wasn't single.
Exactly.
And that wasn't a secret, right? So you got with a dude that was already with a chick. What makes you any different than this chick? Your money money does not keep it. I have
Money,
to be
Come on, no,
kids, nothing.
No.
Don't keep us
I don't know.
busy.
I don't know how open I can be on this.
No.
Very.
Okay,
Very
vagina don't keep a
open.
penis together. Like,
right.
I mean,
Amen.
it don't
There
matter
you go.
how many pieces of vagina that you get in one time. It could be all different colors, shapes, and sizes. If it
With a
juices
cape.
different, if it's larger, if it's smaller, if
Come
the
on
penis
now.
curves. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Some can provide where others don't. But what needs to be understood is sex is sex. And relationship is relationship. So depending on what was established when they went into this, she could have went in with an open mind. Now, if she went in clouded thinking that because she was a Kardashian, history says that your Kardashian name don't mean a hill of beans or shit. Excuse my friend. It doesn't mean either one. It does not matter. It's what it says is that your name is Kardashian and you got some money.
That's it.
So that's
And
all
you're a
that
hoe.
matters.
No, that
That's all that matters. That's all that says. It just says that this is who you are. This is what you have, and this is where we are. So if she went in with that type of open mind, she needs to shut up. Number one, this is just me. She just needs to be quiet. It doesn't need to be anything said. You don't have to prove no points to nobody. This is the father of your children. I could say a lot about the father of my children, but because he is the father of my children, his character towards me when we were together is null and void. What matters now is who he is as the father of my children. So that's how I respect him. I respect him as such. Now, what will happen with the relationship is two totally different things. The relationship and him being the father of that child has nothing to do with either or. That's just my opinion. I don't have to be with you for you to be the father of my child. I don't. But if I went in knowing what it is, then I'm going to put some stipulations down and say, hey, bruh, this one needs to happen.
Yep.
And either we can abide by these rules in a sealed contract
or walk away.
Or you can walk away.
Yep.
And it's perfectly fine because I have the understanding that I'm not losing nothing. And if I do lose you as the father of my child because you cannot abide by these rules personally that I have put here or that we agree upon, then you can still walk away because my name is Kardashian. And I have the money to be able to take care of the child. So she's not losing either way it goes. He got the publicity. She got another broken heart.
With a baby, though.
With the baby now. Yeah. So now it's leverage for her. So she needs to go in. For me, I think she just needs to go in understanding what she set herself up for. Absolutely. You didn't go into a relationship with a man that was not single. You went into a relationship with a man who was already involved and with a girlfriend who was already 5 months pregnant. You set yourself up for failure.
Absolutely.
So you did not go in winning, my girl, my homie, my baby. Your body don't mean nothing. You went in as another piece of vagina.
Somebody get her a podium.
I'm on now. Where is the offering pan?
So
The Sunday school building.
So in my opinion, you need to go in understanding what it is. If you're a unicorn, accept the fact that you're a unicorn, and with unicorns, certain things happen, and you have to be able to adapt to that. If you go in as a woman in your feelings, accept the fact that you done messed up, you set yourself up, now you got to heal from this, take care of your baby, and accept him as your baby daddy. If you go in as a dude, understand that you got dude feelings, and your dude gonna do what he do, and you're going to have to understand that and not let it affect you and still take care of your baby and do what it is for you to do to keep your name the way it is. But there's levels to the game. You just got to understand what level you're on and play it correctly. Stay in your lane.
So do you think all men cheat?
I don't know.
She was like, I don't know. Because
I mean, I from my experience, I have not had the best experience with men. I will say that. Okay. My experiences with men have not been great. I've been told you are the best thing that ever happened to me, but you can't seem to be faithful. So at this point in time, it just is the way it is, and I understand that dudes will be dudes, but I stay in my lane. I know what I'm worth. I know what I deserve, and I refuse to accept less. I won't be the side chick. I'm way better than a side chick. I can handle a side chick's role and your main chick's role. We can flip roles as many times as you like. I can be however many women you would like for me to be, but you have to tap into that and be secure with the woman that you tapped into. Now, if you can't be secure in the woman that you tapped into, then stick with Nikki or Shantae. I mean, pick one. Just stick with the one that you like, and don't try to tap into something that you're not familiar with.
Come on.
Why not?
You come back next week.
I want to know what Nikki like. We see what Shantae like.
Well, Nikki is on a whole nother level.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
Right, you had a valid point.
I'm sorry, my head just go up when Nikki comes.
That is so simple. But I don't feel that all men cheat.
What is hope for everything?
Huh? You said there's hope.
It's always
hope for everything.
No, listen to this.
Well, I'm just fairly saying that I don't know from my own personal
that.
experience. Do I believe that there are men that are out there that are faithful? Yes. Have I experienced a faithful man? No. So I can't, I believe that eventually somebody will come around and act right. But I mean, I'm not rushing it either. I'm good. Hey, you got to come with a whole lot than some faithful
wing wearing.
Okay, not even faithful ring man. Just you have to come when you come.
It's a mindset.
Yeah, you have to come with a whole nother type of faithful. You know your finances have to be faithful.
Come on now.
Your job has to be faithful. Your manhood has to
Yes.
be faithful. Your fatherhood has to be faithful. Because I have 4 children and they're paying attention to the man that I bring into my home and into my relationship. So how you handle a household has to be faithful. All of those things
All
need to
of it.
line up and balance and be faithful. Now, if there are areas in your faithful categories that you have issues with, that's not my problem. And I think you might want to handle that before you step to a chick like me. Because I'll devour you and you don't want that type of...
Maybe.
Yeah.
That we're digressing.
But
here.
see, now you're adding your own self into that.
I mean.
This is a hypothetical.
just like
You
the-
gave
Look,
us
honestly,
This
everything.
is my show.
No,
and I brought you on, so don't tell me. No.
I feel like it's National Women's Day.
No,
Sorry,
no, you really gave us like everything.
Yeah, I'm just giving a different type of point of
Everything
view.
we
I understand the
needed.
dude side. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
I'm
some
on
of,
your side.
And I just,
I want you
some
to
of
know.
my closest friends
I
are
just want to say
dudes.
you welcome to our female viewers. You know,
I mean, some of my closest friends are dudes. You know, so I sit and I have relationship conversations with them, and I'm just like, you got to help me understand it from a dude's point of view, like, because I need to be able to understand you. You know, there's love languages. That whole love language crap that they talk about, it's real.
It is.
And you have to be able to tap into a man's love language. It's not always sex. You know, sex may be the surface. He may need some, words of encouragement all the time. Like, daddy, you, and he might need that daddy syndrome, and that's fine.
right,
But you have to you have to be woman enough to handle the character that your man needs, so that he is not stripped of his manhood because you trying to be
Absolutely.
superwoman. You were not built to be a man.
Can I
There is
say
nothing
something?
in
No,
between
I
the
just
legs
wanna-
that says.
I just want to give a couple of examples. What you mean, like, oh yeah, damn daddy, you really working it, or
Yes.
like, damn daddy, when you swerve that corner, you really be hit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, or
Wait,
Let him use you, bro. Let him
is
use you.
that? But is that all that? No, I'm saying I think
well, I
she's
meant
gonna
she was
even
driving,
go.
but I know what she mean. Like, like, damn
Yeah,
daddy,
I'm like,
you really
yeah.
cleaned that
But
kitchen.
it's
you
more
know
so
what I'm saying?
communication
Damn,
for
daddy.
us.
It has to be
It do.
communication.
The
You have to
times-
talk.
The times that I have cheated in relationships is that no, it'll be
What?
honest. No,
He's
no, no.
being honest. No,
No.
for real. Let's be honest.
No, y'all niggas not gonna be honest. I'll keep it one.
Let's be honest.
Cheating ass nigga.
This one, this one
always
right
been
here,
understanding.
No, no,
this
no.
one right here is the sneaky one. I like it. He said, "You ain't, you sneaky." Like, y'all not catching this?
No, no.
This
I hear this
commentary.
nigga.
in
I
here?
get this all day
I
long.
love it. It's hilarious.
So here's the thing: the times that I've cheated in relationships, I had already checked out mentally.
in your head.
In my head, I was just so immature at that particular time to where I didn't know how to communicate.
Did it come back?
You said did what come back?
You checked out. Did it come back?
Never did it come back because I'm single as a dollar bill right now. But the thing of it is that the one relationship that I was faithful in and all that good stuff, we don't go into that. But the one relationship that I was faithful in, it was some values there that kept me there. You know what I'm saying? I was able to communicate. Sometimes you guys aren't the easiest to communicate with.
Agreed.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you this, like.
No,
We discussed this last show.
Right?
Okay.
No,
Didn't we say
you
that?
guys aren't.
I
You
told
guys aren't.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you
said
this.
that.
Because mine
It's
think
like-
I'm a man.
But there is a way to tap into that.
It is a way to tap in that.
You just have to be patient enough to find the way to maneuver into it. There's a way to get in.
Well, I say that that's
Prayer.
the same from both perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Because a woman is
That's
a woman,
a-
is a man is a
that's
man, and both sides communication is different. So I just
Yes.
you really got to learn that your significant other's communication. You know what I'm saying? How to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? What to do, what to say. You know what I'm saying? How to approach.
But like
I
he
think that's the more
said,
important thing.
like he said, if there's a time where the man mentally checks out,
Right.
It takes a wing and a prayer to get to him.
Oh, I mean,
like
well,
seriously, sometimes love sometimes love is not enough.
Oh my
Like
God.
women have to learn when to shut the hell up. Like I mean,
Didn't I say that?
it is so important. Y'all need to learn to shut up. I mean, everything does not
Need to be
deserve a response. I'm learning that where it don't matter what kind of relationship it is, whether it's a relationship between a woman and a woman, meaning friendship,
Right.
or whether it's a relationship between a man and a woman, meaning friendship. Two powerful minds in a relationship will always collide, but somebody has to be big enough to shut up.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Nobody.
Like I'm learning that. Like I got a big mouth.
Okay.
But I learned my silence is so much more powerful than any word that I can never say.
I saw your post
because,
earlier today
yeah,
about that.
and the minute that I shut up is the minute that I get the response, not necessarily that I want, but the peace that I'm looking for. You understand what I'm saying? Within myself. You carrying on and acting fool like me being all in your face, you ain't gonna do. And although you may need it, although you may have deserved it at that time, it doesn't do anything but belittle you as a man. It makes you look less of a man. I will never, and I never have, I will never embarrass my man in public.
Don't. Oh my God.
You
I
know
won't
what?
do it.
Now
Okay.
we're talking about.
I won't do
no,
it.
No.
Okay.
I
will
situation.
I will never address my man in public when I feel that
Thank
he
you.
did something that
Thank
is
you.
embarrassing to me or may have made me feel some kind of way. I'm gonna wait.
I had to pull somebody aside because, and I didn't even like their dude. I'm being very honest. I did not like their dude. And they only did it in front of me. But I pulled them aside. I said, okay, can we go to the bathroom right quick? And I literally said, the next time that you disrespect that man in public, the next time I see it,
I'm gonna check you.
I'm gonna punch you in your face.
No. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check you so hard you're gonna feel
this
uncomfortable.
Was somebody that
yeah.
you know, I was like, we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
You cannot belittle your partner, and you definitely can't do it to a man. And I'm not saying you could do it to a woman, but we tend to bounce back a little bit better than men do.
Yeah, because women can sometimes hit way below the belt,
We
and I am known for
can.
hitting
But
way
we have
below
two
the belt.
mature. We have two
can.
mature women right here.
We can.
It's very uncommon that you get women that think like you sometimes. Sometimes. I'm not saying everybody. But like sometimes you be like, get him, girl. I know, right, girl? You told him. You sure did do. But if DeLorean talked to his girlfriend like that, everybody be on him.
Yeah.
I'll be on it. I'm like, hey, bro, you can't do that, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's not accepted amongst men, but it's okay for women. If women get emotional and slap you in your face, nothing's going to happen.
And I say this,
Y'all
don't
probably
ever
gonna have
put your
y'all
hands
probably
on a
going
man.
y'all probably going to have makeup sex. But if I slap you in your face, there is no explanation.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go to jail.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to have, you know what I'm saying?
'Cause it's all off
There's
emotion.
no,
It is.
there's no
It's all off
standard.
emotion.
There's no standard sometimes for women.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, I
Okay.
had an incident, and this was a while ago. But I remember being very, very angry. But I knew yelling was not gonna get this person's attention. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that he shuts down when people get loud. He shuts down at certain times, you know, when I'm upset or when he's upset. And as crazy as this sounds, we were literally you could feel the tension in the air. And finally, I was like, look, because we both grew up in the church. I said, look, we need to pray because I don't know what else to do. Right. And some people are like, you prayed in the middle of that? Yep, because one of two things could have happened. Either he was going to jail or, well, I might have gone to jail because I was near the kitchen. But what I'm saying, I'm just being honest.
Amen.
I'm being honest. It could have happened.
This amen. this amen.
I'm just saying,
learning
it
so much
could have
today.
happened. But I literally, because that was all I knew to do. And then I left. Because I'm like, even praying, yes, it helped. But I knew either
it was time to leave the situation.
Yeah, it was. I had to remove myself
Yeah.
from the situation because he wasn't. So I made the choice. 48 hours later, we were able to have that conversation.
It may take that.
But you can't have a conversation in the heat of the moment. You can't do it. You
Well,
cannot
I
do
think
it.
it depends on the person.
That's
Because
true.
some guys
Yeah.
take things and process it. They hear it. You
Yes.
argue, holler. They hear it, and then they walk away. You're like, why he didn't say nothing? And there's some
Nothing.
people who come back, like I said, two days later, a couple hours later. Then there's some guys who like to argue. They love it.
Yeah.
And they'll argue back, and they shout and shout and shout. And then they be like, all right, it's over with. Come on, let's go cook and we go have fun. Like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And as females, that's exactly the same way. But let's go back to what you were saying earlier. I think, because Justin said we have two mature females here. I feel like a lot of females that I've met or dated do know the right from wrong or are mature. Most of them are just very petty people.
You got a point.
You know,
But that plays on maturity.
When you say it
that
does,
yes and
but
no.
I'm talking about people I know better, and they
Yeah.
still be like, I just said it because I wanted to see him get angry. Like, you know, just
I mean, it's they not. That's not necessarily petty. That's just childish. And
That
to
too.
me, and on top of that, to me, if you're playing off of a man's emotions, you play on the wrong man's emotions, and you're not gonna get the response that you want. I mean,
True.
if you're not careful, so you have to be careful when playing those kind of games. I'm sorry, you have to be careful when playing those kind of games. Like the relationship that I am in currently, I like the way he deals with me because he a big dude. But he's soft when he deals with me because I got a big mouth and I say exactly what I mean and how. But I know I've built that relationship where I can say that to him and he can deal with that. And he'll say something as simple as hush, hush. And I'll be like, but you.
But that hush got something in it though. It means
It's the sexiest hush I've ever heard in my life. And it's
It's like hush, hush.
like everything hushes. It's like, okay.
Hush, baby.
You hungry? Yeah. And he smiles when he does it, and we don't hold on to it. It's like, what happened? Like who? But it takes a strong kind of man to deal with a strong-minded kind of woman. You know what I'm saying? And so we just so happen to be really great friends on top of that. So we took time to build that kind of relationship. I told him no for 2 years. Like
2 years?
a whole 2 years. No, you got a whole lot.
They still
If
build
You
it.
got the
if
word.
you think that it's worth it,
You got a whole lot. He kept coming back. He had a lot of working to do, but he kept coming back and he worked it and it works. And regardless of the relationship, the friendship is there. You know what I'm saying? Like the foundation of the friendship is so solid that if anything happened, I know I still, he knows he
amazing.
knows he still has me and I know I still have him. That's not a question. But most women can't deal with that. They look for a dude to yank them up because they feel like that's all they deserve, which goes back to the things that I talk about self-enhancement and things like that. Women that get in those kind of relationships are just lonely and looking for something. And they don't know any other way to react or how to handle it, but by what they've seen in their lives. So it's a whole, if I can say curse, that's what it is, or if it's learned behavior, whichever term you want to use, that's what it is. It's either learned behavior or it's cursed or something, but you have to be willing to want to break out of that to be somebody better. Because I used to be ready all the time to swing and always on the defense. It didn't do nothing for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But bruised me up with a couple of, hands or had me still sitting
Like
around
dude-
looking.
like niggas,
oh,
like-
yeah,
or
like
like-
dudes.
still being delivered.
Like
Why would
dudes.
you-
But,
why would
well, again, watch. I
Disclaimer.
If I can be honest.
on me.
No, sometimes I'm,
Well, no, and this is my freedom.
I'm not
in
fighting
this
no
current
man,
moment
but-
because I've never talked about this. This is my freedom in my own moment. I've never talked about this.
Be open.
When I was a child, I saw my father push my mother up against a wall, and hit her up against the wall. Now I don't remember anything else. Okay? Watch this. I don't remember anything else about the conversation. I don't remember what my mother said to my father. I don't remember the conversation between my father and my mother. And I've heard stories of what happened from both sides. But all I remember
It's the physical.
is the physical.
To you, that had the most impact.
That's what had the most impact. And at 5-6 years old, all I knew was it ain't never gonna be a dude
Let's go push me.
that's ever gonna push me
that's right.
and harbor me and yank me up. So the minute mine started grabbing my arm, saying, "Don't walk away from me," if you don't get your hands up off of me right now, I went back to 6 years old trying to defend my mama and I couldn't. Whether she deserved the defense or not, I don't remember.
Right.
But I go back to that. And that goes back to something that I had to break within myself. Women have to be careful. And there's a conference that I'm going to do where I'm actually sitting down and talking about stuff like this because it needs to be talked about. Like you have to be able to break up out of that. Like what happened to you, what happened to your mother is not what happened to you. You saw it, it affected you, but you have to deal with what affected you. You don't have to keep living in what happened to your mama. My mama living her life. She ain't thinking about what happened to her.
If she remember.
If she remember.
Right.
And I done held on to something for 30 years of my life. And my mama travels the country. the world, if I can say that. She travels the world. She done been to Greece and Paris, and she ain't thinking about what my father done did to her. And my daddy done married and ain't never hit another woman ever in his life. But when I got into my marriage, I remembered that. And I could talk about me because it was me. You understand what I'm saying? So when he would grab me up and say, don't walk away from me, that's what he knew. That he felt like that was disrespect for a woman to walk away. I was walking away because I knew I could feel my rage coming up. And in order for me to control that, I need to walk away. But the minute you start putting your hands on me, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, whether you trying to tell me not, you don't have to put your hands on me, tell me not to walk away.
So my issue is, and I love that you told your truth. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it just
and that's
freed
big.
me.
But I feel that there are also some young men who've seen the same thing.
The same thing.
And I'm gonna tell you this. Coming up, in order to get you see how we're strong talkers. We're the Jackson King clan.
23.
So we're all family, and if you ever come to like a family barbecue, we have to invite you. So like if you ever come,
food.
we're strong talkers.
Yeah.
If we have a issue with somebody, it's no, hey yo, my man, this and that and then third, right? And we don't mean no harm by it.
Yeah.
So when I get into a relationship, and the first sign of conflict, I gotta, hey yo, da 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 da. But this person might not be used to it.
Yeah.
But that's what I've seen how to resolve conflict coming up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So if a dude seen his pops or his moms hit his parent, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
He can't sit here and tell his truth and be like, well, you know, when I was 11, I see my daddy hit my mama. And then so I just, that's all I knew. And so when she came in my face and I was in her face, I hit her. You're going to jail. There's no grace for this nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I want people out there to know people in general need to learn how to deal with conflict.
Yes.
Conflict
That's
resolution.
very true.
Conflict resolution.
And everything doesn't deserve a hand. So when I learned that, and it was self-taught. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to really deal with myself. Like, okay, I'm sick of this whole anger issue that I got going on. I got to figure out a way to fix this. So now when I feel like it's getting too much, I'll be like, all right, I can't talk about this right now. I need a minute to focus. Yeah, I got to talk real low.
Crazy just
No,
peeped out.
yeah. Yeah. No.
Like I got nervous.
Yeah, like you see, but it calmed everything down. Like you have to do what make you have to. Hey, I can't. We can't discuss this right now. It's not gonna end good. You're hype. I'm hype. So I need some time.
Right.
I need to give me a couple. I need some time to really just allow this to let me deal with this by myself for a minute. I know you're not going to like it because you know it's going to be real emotional. I'm probably going to be somewhere crying, and I'm going to probably come up with my own concepts of what I thought happened in my own mind. But once I come to grips with it after a couple of days, I'm going to call you and I'm going to be like, I need you to come over so we can talk about this. Now, either you'll accept that and you'll understand it. It's probably going to tear you up because you're not used to not talking to me because I always talk. But if you
pride.
Yeah.
But if you love me, if you love me enough, or if you believe in the fact that I will believe you or I will talk to you, you'll understand and you'll give me a couple days. You'll still check on me and I'll still check in with you, but we don't have to talk about this right now. Right now is not the time to revisit it because there's so much emotion. If it's one of those kind of situations where it's way too much emotion involved on either side, because men get emotional. Yeah. And not only do they get emotional, they get prideful. So if you say I got to walk away, I definitely got to understand that you a man, and you now at 35, I understand that you're a man. And if I keep tackling that, it's not going to do anything but shut you down. And I don't want you to shut down. So I have to respect the fact that right now you mad at me. But I can deal with you being mad at me. I can't deal with you shutting down on me. And it's the same thing, vice versa for a woman. I'm going to shut down if you keep touching a wound that's open. Stop touching it. Leave it alone right now. And then once it kind of gets, once I put a Band-Aid on it, I ain't necessarily going to take it off, but it's a Band-Aid on it. And I can hear you through the Band-Aid. Go on and say whatever you got to say through the Band-Aid. And then we can go ahead and have a situation that way. But like you said, it takes maturity to do that. Okay, I'm done talking.
No, that's good stuff.
I'm so glad that you're here because they hear. I think sometimes they hear it from me, but they're like, we're related.
There are other women like her. I'm one of them.
Look at these niggas.
And y'all
over here.
we
Technically, we ain't no
Yeah,
relation,
we
but
ain't
Oh,
But so I
I'm
don't know.
just gonna stick 'em in
So I
there.
don't know then.
His
You
face
know what I'm
like,
saying?
I don't know.
Not me.
I was like,
I'm just
I'm not in that
saying,
little
category.
But
No,
still,
but-
they're
at the same time, I
They need
think
to hear
that
from
at the
them.
same time that a woman also has to know when it's time to move past whatever happened. And when
Yeah.
it's time to let that
Oh
go.
my Jesus.
And I'm just saying, and that's a big
Yes.
thing, and that's a big thing that I've experienced. It's like, you know what I'm saying, after something happened, you know, I mean, you know, when you're dealing with somebody else at certain points, you know, different personalities gonna clash, different traits or, you know, whatever. And it's, you know, it's about how you get through that with the person that you're dealing with. Now, you got stuff that happened, and I'm just like you said, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got to put that Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to let it heal. I understand that. But after the healing point, we got it. Like, we can't keep
It's
coming
healed.
back to
That's
it.
the point of the
You know what I'm
Band-Aid. We
saying?
ain't gotta keep
Exactly.
revisiting
But
it.
then you had the people where it's healed, but
You
Then it really
saying?
wasn't
They
healed.
still-
then
It really was never healed. It's just they just put the Band-Aid on it for a minute, and then when they saw the scar, they assumed that it was healed, but it's not healed. So they ripped the Band-Aid off,
Bless you.
and now it's a scab. And now it's a scab.
That's those live moments.
Yes.
That's great, by the way. Shout out to Jason.
Straight into the
But now it's a
It
scab.
was
and-
a little pound.
Now it's a scab, and then, you know, as scabs heal, if they don't heal properly, they never close. They never close, and then there's always a scar there. For those things that you really allow to heal, there's never a scar left. So it's really up to the person, you know, how you allow your pain to heal. Some scars were meant to stay for you to remember where you came
Yes.
from.
Right.
Not necessarily what happened when they did it. I have no idea what happened, but I know it hurt because my mama said I cried for a really long time. But it's a scar right here. There are scars that I remember. There are scars that I don't. It's just a journey, a path. You picking. I always used to say, I'm going to pick and choose the battles that I want to fight. Some stuff is not worth the fight. You are wasting your fists swinging at air.
and breath.
And it's so unnecessary because you swinging at something that's not there. You done moved on, and I'm still swinging at you at something that you like. What are you swinging at? What you did to me 4 years ago, but we 4 years down the road. Why are you still swinging at that
used to
4-year-old issue?
I used
But
to have
sometimes-
somebody say, "Don't waste good hate," and I remember thinking to
No,
myself, "Don't waste
child.
good hate." But what they meant was, hate takes so much
takes so
energy.
much
It's
energy.
consuming.
Why waste it? And I remember going through a situation where I was angry, and literally up until maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember talking with my sister and saying, "I'm still angry about this," and I said something to my mom about, "I'm still angry about this," and my mom said, "Either you want this to consume you, or you want to learn from it and take it and say, this is what I won't do,"
Yeah.
and just become better for it. Because this person has gone on with their lives.
I mean, literally.
Halfway does not even remember
Yes.
the situation. And even if they do, my mom also pointed something else out. She said, this person is ashamed to even acknowledge that they allowed this to happen. They're ashamed, and that's why they won't even acknowledge it. So either you have to move forward and understand that, one, they either don't remember, or two, in this particular situation, they were really ashamed.
Or they really didn't give a damn. I mean, either way, you just have to
always an
accept.
option.
That's
I mean,
always
that's always
an
an option,
I
too.
mean, you just have to be honest and just accept it for what it is. What I had to, and I always use myself and my own life as an example, because what better example is there than what I went through and lived through? You know what I'm
Life
saying?
experience.
So I don't have to use anybody else. I use me. When I went through my divorce, it was painful. And it was embarrassing as hell because it was public.
Why? Okay. Why was it embarrassing?
It was embarrassing because it was public. It was public because I didn't say anything to anybody, and I was still married, and they were still doing what it was that they were doing. And it had been going on for years. So in the divorce process, for it to still be going on, I still said nothing. I still had nothing to say, but they were still coming back to me. See, there's a lot of stuff that is not necessary to visit because it is what it is. But what I had to do within what is important to know is what I had to do within myself. Damn him. Like, they gonna be and do what they gonna do. You understand what I'm saying? But what I had to heal from and understand was, Shantae, this is what it is, baby. You've done what you could. You did what you could. You can do this one or two ways. Here's way one. You can move on with your life, stack it all up, learn from it, and keep moving and build you something, because 4 kids are watching you.
Right.
So they don't need to see you all fall, or like this. They need to see you pull it together. You understand what I'm saying? Stack it up, suck it up, let's roll. What we gonna do? What's the plan now? Because what you thought was the plan for your life
Ain't the plan no
ain't
more.
the plan anymore. But you can't die. You can either die here and let them see you die, and he move on, doing whatever with whoever, however.
But anyway.
You know what I'm saying? And you still scattered trying to figure out, oh, well, you ain't did this, you ain't did that. How am I supposed to take care of this? How you just left me, da. I mean, just any kind of woman, you, and not look at myself. Or you can reflect and say, all right, this is what I did. I own up to that. This is what I didn't do. And I'm okay with that. But now I got to build up the pieces of my broken heart and pull myself back together. Suck it up, my baby. Get these 4 kids a life that they deserve.
Absolutely.
And then show them that you can still be a co-parent to the children of your father and congratulate him on his way. And that's exactly what I did. And I healed from it. But people, it's so much easier to hold on to it because it's convenient. It's a quilt. It's a cover. It comforts you to hold on
It's
to.
what's
Woe
familiar.
is me.
Yeah.
It's what's familiar. I'm holding on to it. It's been a long time. Why am I still holding on to this? And they done moved on and don't. I look dumb. Like I talk to women on a level like that. I talk to dudes the same way. Like, y'all are stupid as hell. I dealt with a woman that broke down in my house. I said, he left me. I said, okay, so what we gonna do? That was my question to her.
But they were looking for the baby.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I did that already. We did that when you
Right.
found out what he was
Yeah,
doing,
yeah.
and he was
can
still
do
in the
that,
house.
but
You
we have to
had
move
you,
on.
but what you did not want to accept was the possibility. You didn't look at the possibilities of what could happen from what happened. From what just occurred.
Half full.
Exactly. The possibility was he could leave from this. But you were not leaning on that. You didn't prepare yourself for the leave. Well, now he gone. So now you're at my house and
you're in limbo.
I'm like, all right. I'm gonna let you vent. I'm gonna let you cry. And I'm like, I went and got her some whatever. I got her a nice little glass of wine. I got her all set and situated, sat her in the chair. You want some water too? Once she was fine and I'm not playing. This is how I talk to people. This is what people need. They don't need to be patty caked.
Right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They need some hard love. And that's what I give most of the time. You either walk out of my house comforted and figure out some kind of plan.
I'm gonna give
or-
you my old
come on,
friend's
child. It's fine.
phone number. You can give
They'll
her a
either
call.
love me or they won't love me, and it's fine because I don't need another one. But if I need another one to help somebody, so be it. But what it is, I'm like, all right, she did all of this crying. He did. And I sat there and I listened real quiet. And I was like, all right, so what's the plan, my baby? She was like, well, what's the plan? Well, I don't want to hear nothing else about him. I want to know what's your next step. What we gonna do from here? Well, I don't know. He was my aide. I said, that's your problem. You put all your eggs in this basket, depending on the dude, and you didn't leave 2 eggs on the side for yourself that had some stash and a plan B and a C. So now you done set yourself up. I refuse to put myself in another basket where I depended on him and I didn't have A, B, C, and D in this other basket. When he decided to leave that last time, A, B, C, and D was in there. And I didn't have to say 2 words. I didn't have to
So what
divulge
you're
him or
saying-
anything. It was right there and it was ready to go.
What you're saying is when you're married, you should have a plan A, B, and C.
Always.
When you're married.
When you're married.
But this is supposed to be for
Absolutely.
life.
Here's what I'm
it's
saying.
not-
No.
The word you just
no.
said was
You
supposed
can't.
to be.
This is what I'm
You
saying.
go into it.
You go into it ready
with
for
the
you, ready for forever.
expectation.
Now you can't devil's advocate me. You do know that, right? You always go into it. No, seriously. You always. I didn't go into my marriage thinking that I was going to get a divorce.
Right.
That would be
That's-
foolish,
Yeah.
right?
That's a fact.
But I never go into any situation blind either. I'm not saying that we need to have all separate bank accounts and what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. But be wise in what you're doing.
Hello.
Always be prepared. Period. Even if you don't have a stash of money somewhere. My mama used to always tell me to have a stash somewhere. Yeah. So when I finally got wise and started seeing how what I thought was not, I started to get smart. You always follow the signs. You don't prepare yourself for a failed marriage, but there are signs. There's always red flags in every situation. There's always a stop sign that you don't want to see, even in your blind, even in over here in your peripheral. As this what was his Cat Williams? Cat Williams would say, in my peripheral. There's always something in your peripheral saying like, hey, that's a stop sign, and you just slid through it. So you pay no attention to that stop sign. There's a red light. You're going to kind of slow through that yellow light that's going into red. You knew you should have stopped, right? Like you knew you should have stopped to see all the signs. But it's just,
They have vests. They have life jackets.
It's all this
in
here.
Case.
You know, do not pass go or collect like all of that.
Nobody's planning to crash.
No, child. But just in case we do, there is, here's this, parachute ready for you to jump out and land right.
Secure your airway first.
You got to secure it.
Then everybody else.
Yeah.
So no, will I go into my next marriage preparing for it to fail? No. But I will go into my next marriage much smarter than I left my first. Yes.
Amen. Well, Shantae, Nicole, we love having you today. Words
Please
of wisdom from a wise woman. Listen, tell everybody once again what you got coming up this weekend and on May 5th and social media.
Oh, you mean the mixer that you're not going to make that's going to be bomb?
No, because I will be on stage.
Shout out. And I did sponsor and donate to that.
You did.
So congratulations.
She sponsored
to that.
2
And I wasn't
tickets.
trying to say that on purpose.
No.
I showed love.
I was going to make that point. I was going to make that point.
No.
But you did it before me. Shantae, let me tell y'all what she did. We were on my good friend Colin McCree's Colin 6ix9ine show, and she donated 2 tickets because she will not be able to come to the Cinderella show. That is this Saturday, April 14th at the Northwest Activity Center, Paul Robeson Theater. I will be starring in that play.
That's dope stuff.
So she did sponsor 2 tickets to some listeners on that show, and I thank you so.
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank you for always being a good friend. I don't care what time of night it is, what time of day it is. She always responds. She always hits up, always giving the words of encouragement, and I really do thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I promise you I do. So tell everybody what you got coming up real fast. Social
real
media.
quick, April 14th, 2018, I will be having the Soar, the fashion mixer. It's a meet and greet with all the models and myself about Soar and Soar the Runway and Watch Me Soar Inc. and what we're all about. There will be vendors, there will be drinks, there will be food, there'll be everything that you need to enjoy a nice little mixer and networking event. I will be doing this modeling mixer probably every quarter, just so, models can have some type of platform where they can network and kind of get along. And, we don't have that, so it was kind of laid on me for them to do. Yeah. So,
I've modeled a couple times.
Yeah, and they don't have things like that, so next time.
I just couldn't make the,
okay, well, it's all good. But, you can still come and network. It'll be a great platform for networking.
Absolutely.
And then May 5th is Soar the Runway, my baby. It's going down May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, at the Loft at 1420. It's off 1420 Washington Boulevard, which is downtown Detroit. Right. It's inside the Julian Madison building on the 6th floor. Children's edition of the show is from 1 to 4 p.m. Those tickets are $20. VIP tickets for the main show are $40. VIP, the cocktail hour starts at 5:30, ends at 6:30. Show starts promptly at 7 o'clock. Those tickets are $25. $25. And if you want to come to both the children's general admission show and the main general admission show, that's a dual ticket that you can get for $30. Okay. So you can get into both shows for a fee of $30. I'm really excited. It's going to be a great time. I hope I can see everybody, and please bring me back. I have fun.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and that's No Love Lost, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. God bless.
Amen.
Right.